Hi, I'm Parker and this is Smokin Brews. Today we're brewing a Schwarz Beer. This is a lagered, dark German beer. We're going to be using Munich malt, Vienna malt, Crystal 120, and black patent malt. For a full description of the recipe, see the video description below. It's going to be a quick brew day today, so we're going to be doing a partial mash. And what that is half grain, half extract. We'll take about 3 hours, give or take, to get this brew day under our belts. This beer is going to be roasty and smooth with plenty of malt flavors. It should have a lighter, drier body, and it should make for a very easy drinking dark beer. Okay, so to begin, I've got 2.2 gallons of strike water at 160 degrees, and we're going to go ahead and mash in. Okay, so we've finished our mash in. I've whisked everything to make sure there's no clumps or dough balls, as they call it, during the mash. So it's sitting at 152 degrees, which is right where we want it. So we're going to put the lid on it, and we're going to let it sit for about 45 minutes, and that'll complete the mash. Okay, so we have finished the mash, and the temperature is at 151-ish, which is perfect, right where we want it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the grain bag and lauter, which is the process of essentially draining the grains, and we're going to put it into a secondary vessel with a strainer. Okay, now that we've lagered, we're going to remove the strainer, return this wort back to the main brew kettle, and we're going to bring it up to a boil. Okay, now we've got a full rolling boil going, so now we're going to add 3 pounds of dry malt extract. Now that we're back to a boil, we're going to add our hops. Okay, we've been boiling for 45 minutes. We got 15 minutes left of our boil. We're going to add in another ounce of Tattnang hops, and we're also going to add in a Whirlfloc tablet for clarification. Okay, so the boil is done after an hour, and now it's time to talk about sanitation. At this point, we're going to cool this wort down, and once it gets below about 140 degrees, it's going to be subject, it's going to be at risk to microbes, and yeast microbes will give you an infected batch. So, we have Star San. It's a no-rinse sanitizer. We've got our thermometer in the Star San. We've got our bucket fermentation spigot in there and all the fittings, and we've even got our yeast packet in there, and we're sanitizing all of that. In addition to that, I've got my stainless steel spoon for stirring. We're sanitizing that real good, and now we're just going to sanitize our bucket. And I'm not going to show you that process, but all you do is just add, what I do is take a ½ ounce of Star San and 2 gallons of water and add it to the bucket. I put the spigot back on, and obviously so it doesn't spill everywhere. And swirl it around, splash it around, let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then just pour the water out, and then we cool the wort, fill the bucket, pitch the yeast, and we're done. Okay, it's time to cool the wort, and there's a couple ways to do this. You can use a wort chiller, you can use an ice bath, or you can pour ice right in it. And that's what I'm going to do. I've taken this bag of ice, and it has The food is ice, which means this is up to standards. I've never had a problem doing this. I've never had an infected batch doing this, and it's cooled my beer in less than like 3 minutes. So this should be good clean water, no different than the distilled water I've been brewing with the whole time. Should be the same type. So we're going to pour it in, get it cold, and get it in the bucket. I know this goes against conventional wisdom. You know, I didn't believe it when I tried it at first. And ever since I tried putting ice right into it, never looked back. And of course, if you're doing all grain and you're not doing a partial mash, that's not really an option. You must use a wort chiller, because when you partial mash, you account for top-off volumes. So you can't really do that in all grain batch. So this is strictly for partial mashing. This is part of the reason why it makes it a quick and easy brew day. Alright, so now we're down to 63, which is fine for me because we are using a lager yeast. So all we're going to do now is we are going to put the chilled wort into the bucket, top off with distilled water, and take a gravity reading after that, and then we'll pitch the yeast and we'll call it a day. Okay, well, I've taken my wort and I've transferred it to the fermenter. So now the only thing left to do, top off with our distilled water, untreated, not into water treatments, just on this batch. I was doing all grain maybe. You may be able to see the foam on top, and that's from the star sand, and that's okay. So again, it's a no-rinse sanitizer. Leave it in there. Just going to make sure everything is sanitized. Okay. Right now it looks like we're at 4.5 gallons. Okay, that's 5 gallons. We're going to take our spoon, we're going to agitate the wort. Alright, we've got some good oxygen in there now. Not only that, but we've mixed up our top-off water with our wort, so we'll get a more accurate gravity reading. So now that everything's kind of mixed together, so I'm going to take a quick gravity reading, and we're going to pitch the yeast and put the lid on and let it go. Okay, took a gravity reading. My starting gravity is 1.054, which is exactly where it was supposed to be, so I hit my numbers. I'm going to add my yeast. I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. I do not use a yeast starter when using dry yeast. This is Saflager W3470. We're going to lager it at 66 degrees. Got our sanitized lid. Throw it up in there. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay. Got our brew jacket, and I've already sanitized the rod and the bung. So put that in there. Push it down, make sure it's tight. Got a seal. All we're going to do is set this to 66 degrees, and we're going to have a good beer. So that's it. 3 days over.